Hi everybody, this is a video on shoulder exercises specifically for your rotator cuff. There's four muscles that make up the rotator cuff: the infraspinatus, supraspinatus, teres minor and the subscapularis. They're the tiny little muscles inside your shoulder that people injure when they do things like push-ups and will get pushed over and fall on their hands hard. This one we're going to use a rubber exercise band. And I'm just going to use a light weight. I've got this set at about 4 kilograms or so. Really, you only need probably about 2 kilos is plenty. So this exercise is particularly for those of you with a shoulder injury. What I've done, I've attached my band to the wall, just behind the flag here. You can see it's attached to the wall. Now there's 3 simple exercises with the band and 1 with the weight. I often do this when I'm at the gym just for shoulder protection. It's a good one to do regularly. Most important thing when you're doing this is being aware of what your elbow's doing. So we're going to start with a very simple exercise. I'll just get a little bit of tension on the band. I'm just going to stand up nice and straight, lock my elbow in, and I'll put a finger underneath it to remind me that it's to stay dead still. I'm just going to come across my body and just do 10 moving across the body. And when you do this, you're going to feel your shoulder working. You feel muscles in your shoulder that you're not used to working normally. 3 more. Good. Take a little step towards the wall. Grab my other arm. Feel that elbow. Now we're going to go out. So out for 10. This one's a hard one. So you've got to try really hard to keep that elbow still. By keeping a fingertip on it, reminds you not to flap your elbows. If you find it too hard, you just wriggle towards the wall and that just takes the load off. Now we change sides. Just repeat what we've just done. So 10 across. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As I say, the reason for doing these is either to get yourself through an injury or to avoid injury. You build up those little muscles and use a light band and a light weight, and if you do that, you'll find over time that you really are injury-proofing your shoulders. There's another little exercise I do called a triplanar fly, which I do for my deltoids, and this exercise and that exercise together give you very stable shoulders. Next exercise we do, grab it like this, face the point where you've got it attached into the wall, and just with a straight arm, it's a nice straight arm, just coming out behind you like this. And I'm brushing my hip every time I go through. Again, if it's too hard, just go closer to the wall. Now I'll change arms, coming across again, and just brushing my side as I go through, straight arm. Try not to use your bicep muscle at all. It's all shoulder. First time you do this set of exercises, it's going to feel pretty hardcore on your shoulders. I've been doing this for years and years. I've been doing weights now probably for about 30 years. So do your weights exercises seriously and regularly, and you'll find that after a while you do get injury-proofed in some of those joints where people are regularly hurting themselves, like your shoulders. Okay, turn around. And again, trying to keep that elbow as straight as you can. Let the shoulder do the work. Okay, now just to top it off, grabbing our weight, trying to keep my elbow dead straight. This is a tricky one. I'm just going to look forwards and focus, and just focus on attempting to keep that elbow nice and still. Do this slowly, you'll feel this is a pretty intense little weight exercise. Do not do this with a heavy weight. I'd suggest for most people who are starting, just 2 kilos is fine, nice and light. Unless you're doing it into a mirror, it's very hard to imagine your shoulder staying straight. You can stare at your elbow if you like, and just see whether that elbow is staying still for you. Otherwise, they do tend to flap around a bit. And 3 more. Now normally what I do is run through all these 3 times. We're just going to do 2 sets, just so you can see them all a second time and help you remember. Once I've finished this exercise routine today, I'd like you to do a 3rd set. So starting over again, a little bit of tension on the band, elbows still, and nice and tall and across the body. After a while you'll just wriggle. I'm just wriggling my feet into position so that the tension on the band feels just right, just what I'm used to. The band I'm using, I think I paid about $4 for it at Aldi on special, and this one I think is a medium, I think. If you use a band that's too heavy, you will find this exercise almost impossible. So go light. Light is always good. If you want to go heavy, you just grab 2 bands, put them together for other workouts. Right, we change sides. Again, always focusing on that elbow. Just trying to keep that elbow nice and straight. Sorry, nice and bent, I should say, and nice and close to my body. And the other one, again, just stepped closer because of where the band is relative to my body. And 4 more. Okay, now we're going to do the one out the front. Sometimes it's easy to lose track of where you're up to, so it helps to have a bit of a system. So nice and tall, shoulder not dragging behind or forwards, elbow set, and we do 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I tend to swap arms when I go from side to side and just try and remember where I'm up to. Every now and then you find that you double up mistakenly. So I'll swap over, come to the other side, and I know that I'm repeating with the other arm now. Focus on that elbow, focus on that elbow. Try not to use the tricep muscles. Okay, last one, looking forwards. You see that because I'm in a sort of a closed chumbis, or I should say a parallel chumbis stance, I've really got to lean just a little bit against the band, otherwise I'll pull myself over backwards. Right, there's those done. We're back in our weight again. So, focusing on the elbow not moving, trying to just rotate. You'll feel that right here. This is a classic exercise that spin bowlers and the like who play cricket when they've injured a shoulder. This is the kind of exercise they're doing for their recovery. You can do this over a weights bench, and it keeps your arm nice and still for you. Keeps your elbow nice and still. As I say, doing these into a mirror is the easiest way because it just helps with body awareness. 2 more. Alright, so that exercise routine is for your rotator cuff. For the small muscles inside your shoulder, I recommend that you do them regularly, probably twice a week, and you will build up the inside of your shoulders. It's the muscles you can't see are the ones you're building up, but they're the ones that give you good stable shoulders and stop that strange shoulder pain that sometimes you get where you just can't identify it. It's deep inside your shoulder in the rotator cuff. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.